I have a great faith, and it's not just me alone. It's the group of the lost boys that were living in that harsh condition. And sometimes when you are in that harsh condition, the only way to have hope is to have faith. I was scared. And when you're scared in your life, you move toward the God and say, well, I don't know anything. The only thing would help me is something who created me in this world. And that's where my faith is developed so much. When I was 11 years old, don't know where I'm going and don't know that I would be able to see my parents again, and don't know where I would be eating, getting the food and all this kind of thing, and didn't know what the life is going to be tomorrow. And that's where my faith developed. When we used to walk, we would walk when it is nighttime. We always pray before we get in bed, sleep. And we pray in the morning too before we hit the road. And every Sunday we stop and pray and then spend a day and then walk. And without that faith within us, we wouldn't be able to make it. And I would say some of the boys that wouldn't have enough faith and has hope in their life didn't make it. But those who were hoping, no matter what happened, God is there and we can do it even though we don't know where we're going, they make it today. And through faith, that's where you really accomplish what you need to do. And that's where you really get a good guidance in your life. If I have problem, and I don't know how to handle it, I just say, well, God will take care of it. And keep working, doing the best I could while I have, God will take care of it. And I would not just give up and say that, oh, now that's the end of the world or my world today, and forget about it and lay down and sit down. No. I keep insisting while I have a faith and hope that God will work something out. And it happened all the time when I have that, and I have in a great dilemma that I wouldn't make it. It make itself happen. I broke down several times without spare parts, without nothing. And then we scratch anything we can do and get something out of it and then move on and accomplish our job. And that's what that gave me a great faith, that because God is there no matter what, because if you call the name of God and say, God will help me, and you are doing it, something happened out of blue. After we were kicked out in Ethiopia, we were chased out in Ethiopia, crossing River Gilo, losing a lot of boys there, and ending up in a town in Sudan called Pashala. We didn't have food for almost 3 months. And there was a time that we really ruined the bush that was close to us. We eat everything out in that bush. Any berries, anything that is green there, we eat the whole thing. And now we eat everything, and we don't have anything to eat. And one time we were sleeping, and actually when we sleep, you cannot hear the breathing of single person among us. Everything is quiet, and you could not tell there are people here. And one night I got up and midnight, like 1 o'clock, and the moon was shining really well. And seeing the boys laying down quietly, hungry, almost to stop. And I was the leader of that group. And seeing the people that I'm leading are going to die as soon as possible because no other way around. I was praying harder, and I was so touched. I don't know what to do, including myself too. And guess what? Within 2 hours, one of the guy, his name is Solomon, who disappeared within my group for 3 months, and we didn't know where he was. We thought that he was dead. He just walking toward us in the shining moon at night, carrying something in his hat. And I opened my eyes looking at him, saying, "Who is this?" And then I asked him, "Who is this?" He said, "Solomon." I said, "Solomon, where are you coming from? We thought you dead already." He said, "I'm alive. I did went to the village and make myself a servant, a slave, to work for that village, and the village will give me something to eat." And what he was eating, he didn't eat it all. He saved some for us and eat some for himself. And now he's bringing back what he was saving. And here's the food. He was carrying the food. And he said, "Salva, here's your food first." And I was so happy to see that, Solomon bringing food at night. And then I wake up some of the boys to distribute that food to them. And that was the prayer from the God that was coming right away. And I didn't know Solomon is alive, and I didn't know Solomon would bring the food. That was a miracle for us at this time. When I was studying this water for Sudan, if I didn't have a faith, I wouldn't do it. When I was studying it, I didn't know where I would be getting money from. I have no clue who will give me money, who will trust me to give me money and say that I'm doing legitimate thing. And because of my faith and my way of doing a good job with it, making sure keeping my track record and doing the good job with it, with people who are helping me along, will see it. It's a real thing. It's going well. It's going to make a difference. Through that, it happened. And it happened because of my faith. Without my faith, I wouldn't be able to go there. I wouldn't be negative and say, Sudan has no peace yet. It's going to be difficult there. I will not even do anything. Where I will go and buy the equipment, where I will get the money, forget it. But I didn't do that because of my faith.